Welcome to Ignite Success. I'm Snowden McFall, your host, 25-year professional speaker, 6-time author, and women's coach. And this is the Keep Your Fire Burning segment. And I want to talk to you about having a fresh, clean slate for 2020. You know, the great thing about a new year and a new decade, which is where we are, is that you can start fresh. And whatever has been holding you back in the past no longer needs to. So let's start with where you could make your slate clean. Start with your workspace. One of the most important things you can do is have a fresh, clean workspace where you're open for new ideas. Even the most cluttered of people who have papers and piles on their desks, when they get ready to start a new project, clear all of that off. And that's because you need open space to think and open space to capture your ideas. So clear out the clutter in your workspace. Throw out newspapers, magazines, articles, things that you think someday maybe you'll read. Just get rid of them. Close them or file them. Books, declare them done. Open up your space. You know, the nice thing is it's a new year. You don't need taxes from beyond. You don't need your tax financial records from 7 years. Past 7 years. And after you've done that, you can get rid of anything that's older than 7 years. You can start fresh and think about the magic of tidying up, Marie Kondo, and her ideas of picking up everything in your space and seeing if it brings you joy, and if it doesn't, get rid of it. That's kind of an extreme approach, but getting rid of your clutter will free up your energy. I guarantee it. I've done this exercise myself just recently, cleared out years worth of file cabinets, file folders, and rearranged my workspace, and it gave me so much more energy. You can also make a new clean slate about yourself. Who do you want to be this year? What identity do you want to assume? And by that I mean, be the best version of yourself. Think about how much money you'd like to be making 3 years from now and what that person would act like. How would they behave? How would they dress? What kinds of decisions would they make? How would they be spending their time? And start acting and behaving like that person. Make sure that your attitude is correct. An attitude of optimism is most important. Pessimists are much sicker people physically. Optimists live 7 years longer and they have better lung function. They literally breathe easier, according to studies at Yale and Harvard, respectively. Adopt an attitude of optimism and you will see so many things shift and change in your life. Negativity is contagious and it spreads in a bad way. You don't want to go down that downward spiral. You want to stay up and focused. And part of the way that you do that is you give thanks for all that you have. If you find yourself going into contraction and worrying about money or worrying about lack, start making a list of everything in your life that you are grateful for. It might be your health, your friends, your family, your loved ones, the fact that you have shelter, that you have food, that you have fresh, clean water. So many people don't have those things in this world. And make sure that you approach things freshly. If you have a project that you've been working on that you've kind of dreaded or you've gotten stuck on, start from a whole new perspective and think, how would an expert handle this? How would Einstein approach this? How would someone who's an expert in that field approach this? And get new perspectives, get new viewpoints, and look at it freshly. Come up with new ideas and new ways to get excited about it. Think about the benefit of this project and who it will ultimately help. Tie it into your personal why. Why do you do what you do? What's important to you? What's your life purpose? And if you don't know the answers to those questions, start thinking about them, because your why should drive everything in your life. And then think about relationships, your relationship with yourself, your self-care. Are you eating right? Exercising, taking good care of yourself? I know it was easy over the holidays to eat lots of fattening foods and sugar and get on that track. I know myself, I've had to put myself back into gear and get back into healthy eating and cleaning up sugar out of my life and making sure my exercise happens more often. Just walking 4 or 5 times a week can make a big difference in your life. But also come into balance with your relationships. You may have someone in your life that you have anger towards or that has done something to you that you consider unforgivable. And the truth is that if you forgive someone, whether they know it or not, it's for you inside of yourself because they're taking up a space inside of you that you could be using elsewhere. So find it in yourself to forgive someone. Whether you tell them or not is up to you, but open up that space inside of you. You can behave a bit like John F. Kennedy did in the Cuban Missile Crisis. If you go back to your history, you'll find that there were 2 letters from the Russians in the Cuban Missile Crisis, and Kennedy chose to ignore the second letter, which was very aggressive and hostile, and responded to the first letter, and he was able to bring about peace. You can do the same thing. And forgive yourself for anything you're holding against yourself. Appreciate your fine qualities. Make a list of successes and things you've achieved throughout your life, and focus on the best in yourself. You can take on a better, higher persona than you ever thought possible. You are capable of it, and you have greatness inside of you.